Many farmers to the wall, but there's one producer in Queensland doing whatever it takes to stay in business. As Today reporter Lauren Ellis found, dairy farmer Greg Dennis has invested more than $1 million to save his family firm.
Greg Dennis might be a fourth-generation dairy farmer, but he's not afraid to stray from tradition.
The cows choose their own milking time, so they come here when they're ready and they get a feed of grain while they're in here, and I see opportunities rather than obstacles.
Founded by his dad and grandfather, this Beaudesert farm south of Brisbane is his family's legacy. But with the price of milk at an all-time low, it's difficult to stay afloat. So this brave dairy farmer is thinking outside the square again, risking everything to save his business.
I mean, I'm really concerned that here we have within our radius of southeast Queensland farmers going broke on it every week, and we're trucking milk 2,000 kilometres to put on their table.
So Greg, this is the processing plant?
Yeah, that's right.
It's just a shell now, but in a few weeks' time this factory will be up and running. A $1 million investment to process and bottle the farm's milk before it's sold to retailers, completely bypassing the major processors.
We've got people waiting and they ask every week, is it here, is it here?
Our own capacity, our own dairy, we're doing about 6,000 litres a day, so that'll be very comfortable with the equipment we're putting in, and we have given ourselves potential to grow, so if we're able to bring other farmers, other local farmers on board and help save their farm, we'll definitely look at doing that.
The idea came about when Greg turned down a new contract from Pharmalat, which was less than the cost of production. He says the milk price war between grocery retailers is to blame.
People didn't think milk was worth $1 until Coles told them it was. So Coles have effectively devalued our product at a time when we could least afford that to happen.
To re-educate the public about the cost of milk production, Greg runs tours at his robotic dairy in the Scenic Rim.
So the instant she walks in, the robot knows where to go.
It's a family affair. While Greg does all the talking, Mum Brenda and Auntie Rose serve cups of tea and biscuits.
I think it's wonderful. I mean, it's a lot easier than what I did in my day.
It's interesting to look at, but I don't know how they can pay for it with the price of milk.
A strong believer in low food miles. Instead of shipping milk across the country, Greg would like to encourage more dairy farmers to fight back.
The things we need to do on farm to keep us viable, to sustain our life on the farm, but also to produce an important product for people that live within our region.
Scenic Rim for real milk will cost about 50 cents a litre more than other brands. The full cream variety sold the good old-fashioned way, in a glass bottle. Cheers!
The important thing is that we save this farm, that we're able to keep spreading our message through tourism, and obviously neither of those things can happen if we're being paid below the cost of production for our milk.
Yeah, good on him. Good story, Lauren. Thanks for that. A spokesperson, meantime, for Coles gave us this response. Since Coles cut the price of its private label, milk customers are buying more milk than ever, which has helped the dairy industry increase production for the first time in a decade. This is good for Australian dairy. Coles recently announced new long-term contracts with 2 Australian-owned dairy farmer co-ops. These contracts mean that we can keep fresh Aussie milk affordable for all Australians, while also ensuring a better deal for Aussie farmers. Meantime, Scenic Rim for real milk will hit shelves in Queensland later this month. Every little bit for those farmers helps.
Indeed, but try and say that 6 times quickly, Carl.